when a country is run properly, if a country is run with a proper monetary system, with an honest monetary system and an honest government, people don't riot, folks. Things are all good. There's no reason for people to riot. If the governments are performing their task and doing what they're supposed to do, there's no reason for anyone to riot. But unfortunately, I think we're only going to see more and more of this type of instability happening around the world. But hopefully from all of it, there will come a positive outcome. I do believe, though, folks, that it is so important for people to approach these issues more from a state of heart than from a state of anger. I really believe that if these issues were approached in a peaceful manner, these problems would be solved a lot quicker and they would be solved a lot more effectively. I think that's something that many people fail to see. But historically, violent revolution has only ever brought about a new form of tyranny. So I think that violent revolution is not the way to approach things. I can understand that people do get pushed into this anger, and when you look at societies, you look at how brainwashed most people are, and you look at what most people think reality actually is, then it does become easy to see why people feel that all they can do is resort to violent revolution. But this is in fact another clever ploy by those who control things, because when violent revolutions are started, they simply infiltrate the revolutionary body, so a new form of the same tyranny ends up back in power. So how can we fight it without violence? By simple non-compliance, folks. Simply stop going along with it all. Stand up and make noise, absolutely, but see your connection to other people. And I know this sounds like esoteric mumbo-jumbo when I say this, but it's not. It truly isn't, folks. It's truly one of the most important things you can do. It's so important that all the members of society, all the people, all of you people out there, all stand by each other. Understand that no one is any better than anybody else. No one is any more or any less important than anybody else, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from. And look inside each and every person that you come across and try to see that spark, that essence within them. Understand that you're all part of a single consciousness. We're all here in this together. And we can fix this problem if we simply connect with each other and we start doing the right thing. Turn your back on these government bodies. Turn your back on your television, folks. Turn your televisions off and encourage other people to do the same. Throw the things away, because ultimately, as a society, the biggest problem that we are facing in this whole thing is television and the mass media. You go out at night, you walk down the street at night and you look at the windows of all the houses and all you see is this blue flicker, and you realize that almost everybody in town, those who aren't out working or hanging at a hotel drinking alcohol, all the families, all of these people are sitting at home glued to their television. That's all they're getting. It's affecting them every day and every night. It's affecting their minds, it's affecting their bodies, it's affecting them on an electromagnetic level, on a psychological level, on a subconscious level. People are so affected by what they get from their televisions. They get all their information from television, and many people simply don't have any idea what is actually going on in the world and what reality actually is, because of what they're programmed to be by their televisions. Sometimes when I walk into a city, when I walk into a large city where there's a lot of people, I look around me at the people and it's like they are hypnotized. It's like they are literally walking in a state of hypnosis. Many of them are so caught up in some of the most trivial things that life has to offer, and they see these things as being important. They are so divided from each other. They are so caught up in the glitz and glamour of the material world, and they're not looking beyond it to see outside the box that this trivial world actually has constructed for them, the box that this society has constructed for them. And many of them simply aren't able to look outside the box to see what true reality is, and to see what their true place within humanity, within the world, within the universe, actually is. Our societies have been constructed to disempower people and to keep people caught up so they don't notice what's going on around them and so they don't ever really get in touch with who and what they actually are. But strange things are happening on the earth, folks. Things are very much coming to a head. 2010, we knew it was going to be a big year, and it's certainly shaping up to be one of the biggest that we've seen so far. There are many possible scenarios on the horizon, and not all of them are pleasant, but all of them do depend on the state of the collective consciousness. They depend on the action that humanity takes. They depend on what sort of future humanity is going to either allow to be created for them or is going to create for themselves. Or it could just be that should we fail to create the type of future that is going to empower the entire species, should we fail to create humanity, then perhaps the program will simply run out and all will return to energy. But either way, the consciousness will truly return to self. I believe that all of the problems that we are seeing in the world today, whether they be man-made, whether they be ecological, whether they be economical, whatever they are, I believe that all of these problems provide the human race with a wonderful opportunity to become humanity in all that we do. I believe there's a reason for everything. I believe that there's a reason I am here. I believe that there's a reason that you are here. And I believe we are all here for the same reason. And that reason is to connect with each other and to become humanity. I think we can do it, folks. I really believe that we can do it. I believe we are doing it. And I believe that a lot of what happens on the stage that we see before us, that we call the earth, that we call reality, that we call society, I believe that a lot of what happens on this stage is designed in such a way as to wake the consciousness up. I believe it's a gradual process, but eventually the entire consciousness will wake up. It may just have to get a little bit worse for some of the more asleep sections of the consciousness. But for those who are awake, there's no reason to fear. There's nothing to fear. Because no matter how bad it gets, it will get better. We will return to self. We will become the one consciousness that we are destined to become. I believe that this will truly happen. I believe that the corruption at the top of the food chain will get addressed. I believe it can only get so far. That complete poverty and complete degradation of the planet and the environmental catastrophes that are happening, you can only get down so far before the consciousness will snap out of its sleep. I do believe that people will eventually see how farcical and fake the whole legal system is, how farcical and fake this whole government system is, the whole political structure and social structure is, and we will stand up and say enough is enough, and we will implement positive change. I think it's absolutely inevitable that this will happen. It's just wondering when, folks. That's the problem. It'd be nice to see it happen very soon. So if we all do our bit, if we all stay positive, and we all realize that what is happening needs to happen, and it's going to get better. I mean, it's hard to imagine that it could get any worse than some of the things we've already done, but I'm sure we have the grand finale to come yet, folks. Anyway, it's getting very close to the end of the show, folks, so I think that's about it for me. I would like to say thank you again for listening to the program. Thank you for visiting thecrowhouse.com. Thank you for all the patronage. Thank you for all the wonderful letters that you do send me. I'm sorry that I don't get time to answer them all, but things have been going along at a pretty fast pace for me in the last couple of weeks, so I'll keep you posted on all of that. Don't forget the Great Intention again this week, folks. 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time every Saturday night. Just go to thecrowhouse.com and click the Great Intention link to see the details. You'll find the countdown timer on that page, so you know that you're participating at the right time. And we will bring positive change to the world, folks. Never fear and never doubt the power of yourself and the power of humanity. It's been a pleasure talking to you again. I'll look forward to speaking to you again next week. Take care until then. In Lakesh, my friends. In Lakesh.